Built Ford tough. Does this look tough to you? I don't know, because to me it looks a little bit plush, eh? Because this is the Fordrangerplatinum V6 3-liter V6. Let's not miss that. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's your boy and I appreciate that you're here with me today. You can see I'm on a rough road. I'm far from Pretoria right now. I'm in Limpopo once again, and that means we have a long journey ahead of us, and you know how we do it on the channel, man. We hit the road, we talk about everything that this thing offers. But today I think we've been covering a little bit of Rangers. We've done the XLT, we've done the Wildtrak, we've done the Wildtrak X, the latest V6 that we've driven, of course it was the petrol in the Raptor, and we've done a long journey in it as well. Today we want to see which one is much better on the road when you have a V6. I mean, we're talking about the V6 diesel versus V6 petrol. Some might say just you know, it's obvious, but you never know. So we're going to talk about that. We're halfway now on our test because we did a full tank yesterday when we left Pretoria. When we got here, it was averaging around 10.2 liters, 10.1, 10.2. We saw 9.9 at some point on the way, but I'm hoping that we can actually do much better. Anyway, we want to see if the full tank can do around 650 on one tank so that we can do like in and out of Pretoria. That's what we want to see today. So let's just get in, hit the road, and we'll talk about it more on the road. Let's go. We're gonna actually take the R101 because we're trying to remind ourselves of those situations where maybe you feel like you don't have enough money and you don't want to pass the toll gates. You're thinking, hey, I need to find a way. Initially, I didn't understand what they were trying to achieve, but now there's no car there, so let's hit it. This is Mokopane. If you're from Mokopane, shout out, I'm passing your town. So we are in Mokopane, home straight, and the next one is Modimolle. So guys, this donkey is my starting point, and we have a lot of kilometers ahead of us. We've done, I think, around 350 kilometers so far in the Ranger Platinum, and yeah, we're halfway. I'm hoping that this tank is going to last until we get to Pretoria, because it's showing around, I think, 400 and something kilometers. And okay, I'm with Uncle in the car as usual, for those who've seen the channel. And you know what, it's hot. Let me just start it now. That is the the seat moving into position, because this thing has memory seats. So let's just hit the road, because it's a little bit hot, guys. Yo, what is with this weekend? When I left Pretoria, I think it was around 34 or 36, something like that. Today as well, at least today is like 30 here, but I'm feeling hot as well. So this is the Ranger Platinum 3-liter V6, 184 kilowatts, 600 Newton meters of torque, and it is smooth. It sounds smooth, feels smooth to drive. Donkey, I'll see you when I come back some other time. Hey. You know the sound systems. So yeah, guys, we have a long journey ahead of us. It says we have 435 kilometers to go, so we should be there, I think, in like 3 hours or so. So yeah, I think people are going to church. We are on the way. Yeah. What is this thing that is just rattling a bit right here? I don't know what is it. Guys, those who've watched this channel long enough, you know I was like here the other time in the Mazda CX-30. I started the drive here going to Pretoria as well, and then I stopped that video around Kranskop. But today we're gonna do something different, because we're not gonna use the N1 when we get to Polokwane. Thank you, Mama. We're gonna actually take the R101, because we're trying to remind ourselves of those situations where maybe you feel like you don't have enough money and you don't want to pass the toll gates. You're thinking, hey, I need to find a way to actually get to Pretoria without paying that. How much is the toll gates anyway? We have 4. Nile is the most expensive. I don't remember how much. I think 70 something. And then carousel as well is a little expensive at around, I don't even remember. I think it's 60 something these days. But you end up paying close to 200 or just above. So other people think that's a saving, and sometimes I actually argue against that. Because, you know, if you're taking the R101, you pass through towns, you do this, you do that, and you end up in a situation where probably you are spending almost more in fuel compared to when you are on the N1. So that's a different story altogether. Guys, in the previous video, people were asking me, so where's this place? Some thought it's Muleji, and it's Botokwa, guys. I am from Botokwa. Botokwa. In fact, let me take a different route. Let me get in this way. The other time I took this one. So check the Mazda if you want to see what's there. Check the Mazda CX-30 video. Today, taking this one. One thing that I like here is that, yeah, it's hot. And this thing, because it's a platinum, it's actually packed with features. And probably one of the things that I appreciate right now is the seat ventilation, guys. My bum is getting ventilated, and that is a good thing for me right now. As much as the aircon is doing a good job as well. And yeah, you do get the dual aircon, of course, which is auto. I see on Uncle, he's on like 20 degrees, 20.5. I'm on 16 because I'm feeling so hot. You know, when you're shooting, guys, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But hey, you saw that I was now on that gravel bit a bit. And I can tell you right now, this thing, when it comes to comfort levels, and those who've watched the Wildtrak X and the Ranger videos, the Ranger, what is this? Why am I saying the Ranger? The Raptor videos, you would have seen that I spoke about the suspensions. Those suspensions are tuned for off-road. They're hardcore. They can do a lot more stuff. But I still say, this Super Duty, or whatever they call it at Ford, the lift springs that has this monotube suspension, that is the damping one, because it also has those shock absorbers as well. It's a different story altogether. For me, it feels rigid, because now when I think about the leather frame in terms of whatever they've done, man, with Ford, I felt this with the normal Rangers as well. Before we can even get to the Platinum, the Wildtrak as well, it feels almost the same. Rangers are comfortable on the road, and that suspension that is off-road based, it can tweak, it can twist, it can do this and that. In the Raptor, the Fox suspension, for me, it has limitations on the road. Probably it's also owed to the off-road tires that they put there, because these ones are all-season tires, which means mostly they're calibrated for on-road and whatever that is, and they're ready for on-road. This thing is comfortable on the road. It's quiet, doesn't make a lot of noise, but you will feel it as well, or you will hear it on camera when we get to the highway as well, to say that now, you know what, it doesn't miss. This thing is comfortable. And that's something that I appreciate about it. When you're driving in areas like this, there's a lot of variations on the road. There's ups and downs. Look at this now. I don't know what they were cutting here, but probably something relating to water pipes, and they left it. Next thing, there's a hump, and you're going up and down. It's areas like this that make you appreciate just how well tuned this suspension is, and overall the chassis, the way that they put it together, man. I appreciate the Ranger a lot. And as I've said, we've already done 350 kilometers or so, and of those 350 kilometers, I can't even complain much about how I felt. As a long distance cruiser, I'll never complain about the Rangers. It's only with the Wildtrak X and the Raptor where I was saying to you guys, you know what, they're great, especially off-road. You can feel that those things can do amazing things. But if I was to compare my experience to these normal Rangers in terms of the suspension setup and everything, that's where then I'm finding a little bit of a difference. But hey, I don't know. I'm probably repeating this point because I like these vlogs, because I can make a mistake and not cut it out. And I'll just tell you that I'm sorry. I love these vlogs, guys. I love them, but they're a lot of work. But you know what? We do it together. We do it together. Oh, they're fixing this road. It used to have a lot of potholes. Now they're fixing it. Ah, Tata V6. They're goats here, and goats can just decide to get in if they want. So I can't be playing like that. So guys, yeah, this is where I grew up. For those who don't know, this is where I grew up, and yeah, we've walked the streets. We thank God now that we can be able to get on the streets with a 1-point-something million rands car. Yeah, that's a blessing, guys. Because when it comes to the Ranger variants, you know for sure that there's just a lot, man. There's base, there's XL, XLT. In the XLT, I think you can still spec it differently. I think the tremor comes into that space as well. You will find the Wildtrak variants, which has the 2 liters, it has the 3 liters V6. You get the Wildtrak X in that as well. Then you get the Platinum, you get the Raptor. There's a lot, and in that there's still double cabs, there's still super cabs. So there's a lot that you can do to actually spec out your Ranger. Why am I saying your Raptor? Your Ranger. So from that perspective, man, it's always interesting that they can be able to do all this. I thought they will bring them in gradually, actually. Guys, I think this is where I'm sorry, Hilux. I'm sorry. I need to just come in a bit because I have a long way to go. There's something here, man. I don't know what is it. There's something here that is giving me some issues. So guys, I just see my place now, and I'm about to get onto the N1 and head to Polokwane. Then when we get to Polokwane, I'll show you the road, the R101. For those who don't, I think people know, but if you just bought a car, you probably don't even know that you can use that. But if you've been using a lot of taxis and stuff when you're traveling between Gauteng and Limpopo, you'd know that sometimes they use that route. Or if there's an accident on the N1, then that you might be diverted to that route. But for those that want to save their veterans on that road, they use it all the time. All the time. Hey man, they're fixing this road, and from my side, that side, guys, I'm still on gravel. I don't know why they didn't do this for us, because this is the other side of my home. It will be a long story if I try to explain. But I did a montage. I think I have a video, a clip of driving on the road coming to where I was talking to you guys and doing the intro, introducing myself to you. I'm here now. This is the N1, and the nice thing about my place, you can't get lost coming here. Just take the N1 from wherever you are in the country. You're gonna end up here at some point. Promise you. At some point you'll end up here. Can we go now? Gosh man, there's always traffic here. Too many cars, guys. Vendor people love buying expensive cars and all these things. Hey, am I gonna go? Am I gonna go? Oh, Jesus. Okay, I think it's time now. If there's any car that is coming there, it will forgive me, because I need to go. Did I mention how much I love this V6, guys? I don't think I did. If I didn't say it, guys, just know that I do. But I think I did. You know what? The reason I'm not even planning to over-review this car as a car, like, this is what it offers. It has cup holders. It has all these things that are here. It's because I've given you almost all the information you need. I'll talk to the updates at some point on the road, of course. And that's what I will probably tell you more about. But the focus is going to be on the drive and the fuel consumption, because now this is us trying to see whether we can actually achieve that 700 kilometer mark with a single tank, because we are on 358 kilometers now. It says we can still do 417 at the moment. So yeah, we will see about that, and we will talk more about it on the road. I showed you some parts of this road in the CX-30. Once again, if you want to see this place, you can go check out that video, because guys, you know, when there are small cows and all these things, you can hit me, it's fine. You can just overtake. I don't drive like that when there are cows and all these things, because the next thing, it's just jumping on the road. So, but when I X30 or whatever, 35, don't think I can't overtake you if I want. I have a V6. A V6. But I can't say that about the GTI, man. This thing is something else, eh? Hey. Guys, I think let's push. We will probably talk more in Polokwane when I take you on the R101. Thank you, my good sir. Let's walk. There you go. Hey. Hey. I'm just outside Polokwane now, and I never go into town because obvious reasons. I am sometimes in a hurry when I leave Limpopo for Pretoria, and because of that, this ring road is helping a lot. Initially, when they were still busy with this road, I was asking myself, oh, you thought I'm coming in, or you're talking to someone there, or in a magnet? Initially, I didn't understand what they were trying to achieve, but now there's no car there, so let's hit it. Man, this thing doesn't have a lot of lag, man. Once you put your foot down, it's like, hey, do you want to go? Let's go. And that's just a big differentiator between this and the Baitebo. Yes, Baitebo is another one that I always appreciate on the road. It's always enough. It's like enough. You know, when you're like borderline enough with everything that you need, I would always just say, you know what, just take the 2 liter Baitebo, because it gives you a lot more than any Baki that I can think of that is a 2 liter. And yeah, that's just my view when it comes to that, because I think now it has 154 kilowatts, 550 newton meters of torque, if I remember very well. So it does enough, it does a lot. Is it 500? I think it's 500. I'll just confirm. But it does enough. But this one, with this engine, I said it in the Wildtrak V6 as well, that, you know what, this is a different beast, man. The way it sounds, the way it moves, the way it decides to say I'm going when you're putting your foot down, it's a little bit different, man. Every time I pass here, man, I get inspired that someday, somewhere, maybe when I want to come back to Polokwane, I'll think about this area. I'm not alone. I'm sure of that. I'm not alone. But yeah, this is just outside Polokwane, of course. And probably something that I thought I should just clear up before we go far, because as we're driving I might forget, is what is it that you're getting with the Platinum. As I've indicated, this like variance levels of ranges are like, yeah, that's a lot. But the Platinum slots just below the Raptor, which is coming in at around, I think, just above 1,120,000 rands. And this is all you getting, and you will have to spec it with the roller shutter that is there in the load bay, and that is what I think just over 25,000 rands, and then that's it. You're gonna get it like this. That's another thing that I love about Ford as well. You don't need to be adding a lot of stuff and like specs. I mean, when it comes to the Wildtrak, it starts at around the Wildtrak V6, that is, because we need to talk about the 3 liters now. We're done with the 2 liters and stuff. Sorry about that. But yeah, the Wildtrak V6, it's around 1,074,000, I think, 1,057,000, if I remember very well, because the difference was 63,000 rands between this one and the Wildtrak V6. Now, with the Wildtrak V6, you still need to pay for the 20-inch rims, which is like an optional spec there. I think this sports bar at the back as well, I think you need to pay for that, if I remember very well. You need to add something. The flexible rack, you can spec it there. I didn't see that you can spec it here. The one that we had on the Wildtrak X, you can spec it. I'm not sure if you can spec it here because I didn't see that on the option list. But after that, you're gonna add accessories and so on and so on. It's not a lot of stuff, but I think it's just gonna be just above 1.1, I don't remember very well, somewhere close to 1.1, so it's not going to be far from this. It's not going to touch this one's price, but it's not going to be far from this, which is quite impressive, because once you get the Wildtrak, the difference that you're going to be getting with the Wildtrak V6 is not a lot. But from my side, as a person who loves traveling like open distances and prefers a comfortable feeling car, I understand why I would pay 63,000 rands more for this. I mean, from the looks perspective, we can agree that it actually looks quite plush because of the material choice that they used on the exterior with the chrome beads that they used, the chrome finished. You'll see that even with the grille, it's more pronounced. That mesh grille, is it mesh as well with this like diamonds beads, as if it's diamonds like on chrome. It does contribute to the overall appeal of this vehicle. It does actually look premium from outside. Putting the platinum badge on the side of the doors, it reminds you as well that this is the Platinum. It's not every day that you're seeing this one on the road. And you can see as well with the rims that are here, the 20-inch rims that are here, again, same thing. You get to the rear as well, you'll see that Amoda, you wanna pass? Can I do this? No, I can't. I can't. I know I have a V6, but yeah, that was too close. Sorry, Hilux. Okay, so yeah, I was just talking about the exterior to say that now you'll see as well the bumper at the back. It has like chrome finish like down there. I know some people maybe might feel like, you know what, it's a little bit too plush for me, and probably other people are gonna spec it different or change it aftermarket. Let me say that. I don't know if this sun is not hitting the camera like in a bad way, but I'm hoping that it's not doing that, because sometimes I know that when the sun is facing us like this, it might be a little bit of an issue. But I was still saying, from the design perspective, you can see the bits and pieces that they've added to actually differentiate it from the rest, that actually it does look good. And when you get inside, you're not going to see a lot more difference. But when it comes to the Wildtraks, you know that this instrument cluster, I think it's like 8-inch in the Wildtrak, and this one is 12.4, so it's a stretched one. It's the same one that is in the Raptor, is the same one that is in the Everest Platinum as well. The screen, same size. I feel like it's doing the same things as well. From that perspective, I can't really say there's much of a difference when it comes to that. One thing that you'll notice, of course, is that it still has a host of features that you're getting in the Everest Platinum as well. All the safety features, and one thing that they've added when it comes to safety features on this is the airbags. This one has 9, I think, in terms of where they are. I think there's just 2 more than the Wildtrak, because the Wildtrak has 7 and this one is 9. From that perspective, then I think from safety perspective they've increased it, but I don't think it's much more of an increase, because the Wildtrak itself, I mean, it's safe as it is. I mean, you get cruise control in here with lane keep assist and lane centering. It's easy. One thing that I love about Ford as well is that they make things that you need, like right here and there, very easy for you to reach out. They did a lot of extensive research, I think, when it comes to how these cars drive. I'm on cruise control, and okay, it will reduce the speed so we can just talk. Oh, this is Pienaarsrivier Stadium, guys. This is where Chiefs is playing with Polokwane City as I'm shooting this video today. And yeah, that's where it's happening. Yesterday it was, I think, Gallants was in Bloom. It was Kukune and Cape Town City that were here. So yeah, you'll get the date when we're shooting this car by those. Once those who watch PSL will know for sure that the big team was playing with Al Ugly, but let me not get into that. Let me not get into that. So guys, yeah, I was still saying from safety perspective, that's what they've added. And then the leather that is in here, it's like premium leather, man. This is actual leather, because in the Wildtrak you get partial leather, and then in here you get premium quilted seats that are just good to sit on. You'll feel as well on the steering wheel, man, it feels so good to touch in this car. The touch points and everything else, that platinum badge inside, man, everything that they've managed to make this as a premium bakkie, they've managed to capture that well, and I appreciate that for what they have done. So those are actually the main changes that are here. What else is there, if I remember very well? I think those are the main changes, because in terms of everything else, dimensions, how it looks and everything else, mostly you'll see that it's still the Ranger as you know it. In front, this one is the one that also comes with matrix LEDs. You'll get matrix LEDs in the Wildtrak X, in the Platinum, and in the Raptor, nowhere else. So this one, again, you know how expensive those things are, and for me, I think based on the drive that I've had with it at night, it's definitely worth it to actually spec those, or not spec, get the Platinum, because it comes with the matrix LEDs. From that perspective, I think overall, with the plushness that they've added here, they deserve calling it a Platinum. And you know for sure that when it gets to Wildtrak and above, you will find that P&O 10 speaker, and yeah, for sure we're gonna play it somewhere on the way. Guys, let's push. I'm gonna take R101. So you've seen how I came from the other side, from the Mall of the North side. You'll see Thabo Mbeki Street here, which tells you that when you join it, you will be joining R101, and then you're gonna pass via Mokopane, and then I think Nile something. Why am I forgetting? Is it Nelstroom, or am I missing it? And then the bomb, and then you're gonna go all the way to Hammanskraal, and so on and so on. So that's the route that we're gonna take, because we're not taking the toll route today, just to show you that there are 2 ways to kill a cat when you go into Pretoria, of course. So yeah, let's push. R101. You see the N1 is passing just under there, and it's going all the way to Pretoria. There's a Crusader coming, but I think the V6 can manage the situation. Oh yes, it can. Yes, it can. I don't think it's a good thing that we're shooting during the day like this, because yeah, the sun is just here. And if I do this on the camera, I know it's gonna eat up some of what you're seeing outside on the road. So I'm just gonna keep it like that so that you can be able to see what's happening outside. Look, other people keep saying it's dark inside the car and so on. And when I'm on the road like this, I don't think it's necessary for you to see what's happening inside the car, because we are on the road. So that's mainly what we are focused on, the road, and not necessarily the steering wheel. You want to see if this button is written set or okay. Nah, that's not the point right now. That's not the point. So yeah. So guys, you see this toll gate here, it's Sebetiela Toll Plaza. Oh yeah, here is it in front of us here. Sebetiela Toll Plaza, and you can join the N1 here to go to Polokwane. Go back to Polokwane this way. Otherwise, to go to Pretoria, you see there's the N1 there. That means then we've already passed it. You can join it just after Mokopane here. And that's if you are regretting your decision to take the R101. Let me put this camera properly. To take the R101. But if you're not regretting your decision, you can just continue on this. Then you get to the Mokopane town, then you shoot straight. You're still going to be on R101. But you know what? We're still going to take that route anyway. We'll see where we give up with R101. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to Hammanskraal, because I believe that all of you know Hammanskraal. Not all of you, of course, but most of you who are based in Gauteng, you know Hammanskraal already. No need to show you that. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not saying I'm not going to go to Hammanskraal. We'll see where we'll cut it, because it's getting late. And yeah, I think it's 13 minutes to 4 now. So we'll see how we join the N1 or not. Because if you don't join the N1, you're gonna get in via the, I think somewhere Pretoria North, Gezina side, somewhere there you can be able to join the N4 if you're going to east side, or you can just go to town from there. That's how you join in from this side to Pretoria, or Hammanskraal side rather. But hey, so far we're having a great time, a comfortable time in here. We haven't been that good off camera because now it's showing 319 liters to go, but here it says 232 to home. So I think we're going to make it there. So far we've done 466 kilometers, averaging 10.2 like we did yesterday when we came. So I'm starting to think that this is our like point where we can say that this is averaging 10.2 liters, which is not bad for a V6 and a car like this. I mean, this bakkie is big, it's heavy. We're talking somewhere, I think, close to 2.5 tons of cab weight. And yeah, unless if maybe you're hauling, like you have a trailer, that's what you're looking at. And you can pull up to 3.5 tons braked, which is good because in the payload itself you can put up to, I think, 966 kgs, somewhere there. So it's quite respectable in what it can do. It's still your normal Ranger in what it can do, because the suspension that is in here as well is the standard one that you'll find in the Wildtrak and other ranges. I mean, the XLT, I don't think it's using the same. I think it's just using the leaf springs. These ones, though, they are a little bit different. So I'm getting into Mokopane now. This is Mokopane. If you're from Mokopane, shout out. I'm passing your town. They play with cameras here. They play with cameras a lot. I know them. It's like there by my place. Everyone goes to Venda, Kiani. They know that we don't play there. We hit you with speed cameras and all these things. So yeah, Mokopane Biodiversity Convention Center or something. The stop-start system in here is probably as annoying as many stop-start systems, but overall it's much better. For example, compared to the Mahindra one that I've complained about, it's much better. I think I've complained about Mercedes as well because of that ISG system. Sometimes it's a little bit confused just going into stop, because this one can literally just stop and then turns off. It doesn't feel like it's preparing you to go to that stop start mode. It literally stops and then turns off. Then when you put your foot back and then it starts again. I think that's much. It's not assuming for you that you're gonna stop and it's gonna turn off. Waits for you to actually stop. I'm not even using the navigator, but I'll see where I'm going. This is Mokopane, guys. Mokopane. Those who know it from way back, they call it Pienaarsrivier. Whatever is shaking here, I hope it's not this thing, because I have this thing just next to the door here, and then the next thing I'm blaming the platinum. I mean, this is a platinum after all, for things that it didn't do. I think it was that thing, because now it's quiet. Or am I lying? It's not that quiet. What is it though? You know, sometimes this seatbelt. Let's stop. The thing about these things is that if you don't stop just here before this X thing, a truck comes, you will have to reverse and disturb everyone behind you. So just be aware of that all the time, by the way. Otherwise, sometimes the truck will just turn and then it will scratch you or take out your bumper. Next thing, you are complaining to the truck guys that today we are chilled, guys. You see, I'm not even making noise. We're in the platinum. Sophisticated things here. This is probably going to be a very long video. I'm passing the whole of Mokopane town and I'm talking. It's probably 10 minutes already. Hey, today I'm with you guys on video. When it turns amber, it's time to stop. Pitpotgieter. I think this is the high school, or is it the college now? I think it's the high school. Those who know can tell us in the comments though. What is this? Baker. Alright, let's hit it. We're leaving now. So we just crossed the whole town basically. If I feel like this video is too long, I'm just gonna fast forward it. You know that thing? I'm gonna do it on the video when I'm passing some of these places. Oh, 60. Hey, you know, this S-Class, we've been driving with it for some time now. And now I'm scared of tickets. Yo, come pass. I have to scan, because I'm also doing legal things as usual. And what I like about R101 again is the scenic route that it has as well. It has this scenic route, especially between Mokopane and I think it's Modimolle, somewhere there. There's just nice roads ahead. You can just take it as a therapeutic road, knowing that you're just seeing something different, because I know a lot of you are used to the N1. And the road is not bad, because as much as it's a regional road, some parts of it, if not all, are actually managed by Sanral. As much as Sanral, mostly you know it for the highways, the national routes, the ends. There are some other roads that they're also actually overseeing. And some parts of those are actually quite clean. You will actually just enjoy driving on them. As much as some of them, when you get into towns, because those are probably owned by the municipalities and so on. You see now, this section is already telling me that it's a Sanral road. So those ones that are owned by the municipalities and so on, sometimes you will find that they are rough and so on. But once you get out, it's a fresh open road and you can just have fun with it. Yes, some trucks and some guys like this one are forcing. Just be aware of that. Just stay safe on the roads, especially when it's the festive season. Stay safe. Yeah, the city's just cut now. And this is a solid line. Hey. Guys, you can pass behind me. I'm shooting here, but I think it's giving me space, guys. See, you know, if you're passing the solid line, right? Thank you, Mercedes. If you're passing the solid line, it's like 500 per tire, guys. So if you cross it with 2 tires, basically it's 1,000. So just be aware of that. But that one, I think there was a problem with that car, so it's giving us space. Let the V6 roll. Yo, traffic in Gaia. This is the only thing that's gonna make me to wanna cross over to the N1 if I see that there's a lot of traffic. Maybe let me put on this navigation so that it can protect us from that. case there's a lot of traffic here. It's already saying just take the N1. You see, it's saying take the N1. I'm warning you, take the N1. But I'm like, I said I'm gonna do the R101, so I'm doing the R101.
I know I shouldn't be in love.
So we are between Mokopane and Mokgophong, and I think Mokgophong is like what, 16 kilometers from here. We just passed our 500 kilometer mark, and we've done what, we're averaging 10.1 now. We are left with 291 kilometers on the tank. I'm quite impressed actually, but I think I'm slowly proving my theory that this route, because now there's a lot of trucks. Can you imagine? I spoke about this S-Class, Mercedes S-Class that's been with us from Polokwane. I think at some point he was behind, then he passed. Hey man, this flying stuff. At some point then I think he passed us in town or somewhere along the way as we were driving. But hey, here's the thing, I'm trying to show you that you're probably going to be with a lot of cars that you started with, because now there's a lot of trucks. Sometimes you have to reduce the speed, sometimes you have to take it up. And one thing that I noticed about the diesel is that it's all right, it's amazing when you're just piling through. You're not reducing the speed, going up and down, driving like you're driving in town and so on, because that's when you're not getting the full benefits. But when you're on the road like this, look at it now, I have to take it down to, I don't know, whatever that truck is doing, 60, 80. And if I see an opening, then I'm hitting him, I'm out. But that contributes a lot to how then the fuel consumption is on the vehicle. Because one moment you're doing 80, the next thing you're on 120. If you're off camera, you're on whatever that you are doing. So that's the thing about the fuel consumption in here, and that's why I'm complaining that it's a good road for sure if you don't want to pay tolls on the other side, but I'm not sure if you are really saving, because on the other side, if you don't get traffic, especially at the toll gates, or there is no incident or accident, then you are likely going, guys, I just want to overtake here, I'm gonna exceed, of course, but yeah, we will settle down once we passed. Go back. So yeah, that's the thing, guys, that I'm saying about the fuel consumption versus the tolls, because I feel like there's no way, man. I don't think you're saving when you're doing these overtakes. Look, we just overtaken a truck then. There's another one in front of us there. I see the S-Class because it pulled before me. I'm going to find him somewhere. If he doesn't find an opening there, then we're just going to be chilling together on the road. So yeah, you'll tell me if you think you've been saving when you're using this road. But for me, my experience telling me that, nah, it's not really a saving. You're losing a lot more on fuel consumption because there's no fluidity in your drive. You have to keep stopping here and there and so on. But overall, I'm enjoying the road. And the car itself, man, this bakkie, I mean, you can only do this so much. But I think every time I'm in the Rangers, I get a sense that Ford knew what they were doing from lifestyle perspective. And you know, off-road, I've never really complained about how they can actually help you feel like you know what you're doing when you're off-road. It's just, yeah, it's quite impressive what these things can do. I'm gonna get in between these two trucks. I need to just pass this one, then yeah, okay, that's fine. If you've never used this road, guys, you're probably seeing things that you haven't seen before. But that's the nice thing about taking new routes when you're going to the same places. Sometimes, you know, if you're bored sometime, you can even go Wildtrak there and just use the Marble Hall side and Krobler's Downs. You will still get a feel of what Limpopo offers. And that's something that I like myself, to just drive in different routes. You've seen on the channel as well that I try as much as possible, even around Pretoria, to just show you around and what our country has to offer, man. There's a lot that's on offer with our country. So yeah, let's push through. We'll talk when we pass Mokopane, which is Napomspruit for those that know the place from way back. You can pass me. Let's go. So we are in Mokopane, Napomspruit, and the next one is Modimolle. I don't know if we should cut it at Modimolle and just join the N1. There's a town called Pienaarsriever. I think maybe we should join it there, but we'll see. This is Mokopane, Napom. We're almost there. This is probably halfway. Normally when you're in a taxi and they're taking this route, you know that you're halfway now, because a lot of taxis stop somewhere. I think they're in front. There's a garage that they love stopping there. I used to take taxis back in whenever. I don't remember the last time I did it though, but I know for sure that when you're here, you're probably going to get all the stuff that you need. I think there's a KFC here, that side, that you can find a lot of people in there. During festive seasons, hey, it gets packed. It gets packed here. Rutan. I don't know. Modimolle 41, Pretoria. If you're taking the N1, is 160 kilometers from here. Let the V6 do its thing. I'm sorry, Corolla. See, hi, bo. Oh, by the way, I have blind spot monitoring, guys, which is almost obvious because this is the Platinum. A lot of safety features in here. Let's see if we can turn on this thing now and leave the steering wheel if it's gonna do the thing. Ah, why is it not reading? Yeah, for sometimes. Hey, I can't. Well, I know it works because I've done it before, but sometimes I'm like, if I'm comparing it to like some of the Chinese vehicles and so on, it's like sometimes it's slipping a bit, and I have to say, hey man, wake up, we have to do this thing. But hey guys, headed to Modimolle now. Let's keep pushing this thing. I'm confident that we're gonna get home on this tank, despite these ups and downs in accelerations, which I don't like. I believe the N1 is better for fuel flow. So yeah, let's hit it. Why is that police car smoking so much? So guys, you won't believe it. When I was talking to you back there, we joined the N1 by mistake. But we said we're not taking toll routes until a certain point. So I'm going back to R101. I don't know, why is this navigator just misbehaving now? It's like it doesn't even want to show anything here. But look, this is the N1 on top of us. I just left it now, going into Modimolle, and we will deal with our issues later as to why we missed this thing. I don't know, it just ended up just going onto the N1. But we are forging ahead. Our course is clear. Back to R101 now. Let's push. 16 kilometers to Modimolle, 143 to Pretoria. 'Cause no guys, when you are on the R101 like this, the navigator will be forcing you throughout to get back onto the N1, unless if the N1 is locked for some reason, there's an accident or whatever. But it will be trying by all means to get you back onto the N1. So you must stay your course. You must not get lost like me. Stay your course. This Benz, man, is still strong, eh? I think Modimolle was called Nelstrom back in the days of, hey, this guy in the wheelbarrow. As we are going into Modimolle, I think it's like 6 kilometers from here. So yeah, I don't know what do they call this place, but it looks new. I'm not sure if it's an informal settlement or they formalized it. But the sun, guys, yo! Sun is crazy out here. So this place is quite big. As I see, it's like crossing from this way to that side. And this school, is that a school? I'm not sure. It's quite big because we are just going into Modimolle now. Another town. Looks like there's power here and basic services are being offered from government. So, maybe it's formal now. Crossroad hardware. Okay. Hiso. Going into Modimolle. Yeah, I see a new road being constructed there, so the place should be formalized now. This is definitely inside Modimolle already. Just this one wants to confuse me, this one. This wants to confuse me, I can see. I'm not shaken today. Going to Pretoria. I'm not taking the N1 as yet. If you're tired, guys, there's a guest house somewhere here that you can use to. But these small dorpies that we have, they're quite cool, man. I think one of my favorite towns of all time, it's Prince Albert in the Western Cape. What a town that is, man. Such tranquility in that place. Amazing, amazing tranquility. I could always pass there if I'm passing by the Karoo, just for that Karoo lamp. They nail it. They nail it. Next town, Bela. Varampat, those who are my age. Oh yeah, I remember going into this mall at some point. I remember. Can join the N1 here. You see, again, the navigator is forcing me to go back, but that's not where we're going. Oh, okay. Nah, navigator, I'm not turning here. So the route that we are on right now, actually, yeah, it is really testing just how well this thing can curve. And I've been driving it on 4A throughout, because yeah, I've explained this over and over, that actually when I have it on 4A, it feels much more composed and much more comfortable in how it's behaving, because that is a permanent four-wheel drive. Because when it comes to the Wildtrak 3 liter, the Wildtrak X, this Platinum, the Raptor as well, you can obviously put it on permanent four-wheel drive, and then it will just behave based on what it's seeing on the road. So you see I'm leaning forward a bit when it comes to some of the curves, because this thing is big, it's heavy, and yeah, you can feel that sometimes actually you need to put a little bit of you need to put your foot off the pedal a bit, so that you can maintain that composure. As much as you don't need to brake, but it actually takes the curves quite well. But understanding it is very important, because it's a big car and obviously doesn't have much weight at the back. So that's something that you always need to be aware of. And especially if you are putting it on 2H, because then now when it's on 2H, it's rear wheel drive. That means then you need to be very careful of the tail. You don't have to always just take curves as quickly as possible and so on, because if you don't have the weight at the back, yeah, and the tail is losing that grip, then you have nothing else to actually keep composure with. So that's something that you just need to be aware of. Can feel that it's taking it a little bit heavy, and it's not like I can put it on sport or whatever in a way that I think this one has like normal, eco, and what, towing, how slippery, mud. Hey, once I put it on mud, it wants to shift to 4H. It has already shifted to 4H, and you can see it was putting the screen on, because it's assuming that you're off-road. So just be aware of that. But now I put it back on 4A, and then I'm back on it. I can just push it on it like this. Beautiful road, by the way. This is where I feel that the suspension is a little bit stiff. You can't obviously discredit that, because it's, I mean, this thing is a leather frame chassis, so it's a little bit rigid. And I did say that I love how it feels. Some people may feel like it's a little bit too tight for them. That's why then now maybe where the Raptor would be coming in with that Fox suspension, the Wildtrak X as well with the Ballstan suspension as well. So in that case, I think it will depend on how you want a car to feel. But for me, this rigid feel, because this thing feels like it's one rod just together like this, and when it's vibrating, these vibrations are coming quite nicely to the steering wheel as well. And like I said before, it's sitting on road tires, so from that perspective then you're not getting a lot of in-cabin noises. I mean, the insulation in this thing is quite amazing. It's actually, yeah, it's beautiful what they've done with the insulation in here. As I said, we have a B&O sound system in here. I'll just have to select a track somewhere where we're gonna stop so that you can hear how it plays like. But from the perspective of driving it, it's actually quite, like, it's quiet. The engine manages to quiet down, unless if you're putting like a overtake like now, you hear the diesel engine coming in. But once you're done with that, that's it. You quiet down. Once it gets to gear 10 again, this transmission is something that I've spoken about over and over. One of the best things about this Ford Buckis is the pairing to the transmission. I like it in the bi-turbo, I like it in the V6, but when it comes to the single turbo ones, I feel like once you put it on normal, you have to force it to move. But once you put it on sport, it can open up a bit. Those 125 kilowatt ones, those are the ones that I'm talking about. But otherwise, the bi-turbo and this one, they're enough. They do the job quite well. And I need to reduce the speed a bit, because yeah, why are you doing that? Yeah, we're gonna be at Bela very soon, and I'm not sure if, it's fine, we're gonna pile through till after Bela, but I'm gonna go back to the N1. I've decided that I'm going back to the N1 at some point, so that I can head home. It's getting late now. It's after 5. And that's another thing that is telling me or motivating me that I'm not wrong about using R101. I think you don't have to use it to save money. Use it to just explore. See things like this. I mean, it's not every day that you just pass and see rustic places like this that are just refreshing your mind. Use it for that. For saving fuel and saving on toll fees, not sure if it is the best solution. I'm not sure. But we are almost at Bela now. So let's push. So we are leaving Bela, which is Varampat, Wombat. For those that normally come here for some vacations and vacations. I'm sure this place, you know it very well. So from here, basically, it's straight to Hammanskraal. But like I said, I'm not going to go through Hammanskraal. So I think I'm going to go back to the N1, just at, I think it's Pienaarsriever, right? Where you can join the N1 from there, and then from there on, probably towards Petroport and so on, then we will finish our video there. But hey, guys, it was a good drive outside the N1. One thing that I like about it, I think you would enjoy this in the Raptor. Because with the Raptor, besides the fuel consumption and everything else, you enjoy it more when you know, up and down in accelerator. You find a truck, you're driving 60, then you put it on sport, Baja, exhaust, and then boom, you hit it like that. You know, I think you'll enjoy that more. But in here, because it's more seamless in how it's performing, what I appreciate about it is that it's not lazy. It's not lazy from standstill. And what I'm seeing right now, despite the ups and downs that we've done, we are just approaching 600 kilometers now. We are averaging 10 liters now. So I'm hopeful that once we get to the highway, we will be touching just below. But the more I do this, the more I'm not sure, because I keep finding like cars driving slow, and then I have to overtake them or drive slow, then increase the speed afterwards. But otherwise, it's still alright. It's still alright. Yeah, we have Pienaarsrivier in 30 kilometers. So we'll probably just cut it there and get onto the N1. Then we do the usual. you know, the boring stuff on the highway. But yeah, let's push through. Let's push through. So we are not far from Pretoria, 72 kilometers, 32 to Hammanskraal. But I think it's time for the piano. Like the other Rangers, this comes with a 10-speaker piano sound system. I forgot the power outputs. I don't even think I checked. I'll put them on the screen. But hey, the 10-speaker sound system with a subwoofer in there. And you can compare. I think this track, Denali Sunrise, I've played it in quite a number of cars. You can just compare to others as well. But it's quite good. Even on the road, when it comes to insulation, as I said, that this car is well insulated. And even now, maybe I should turn off the aircon to reduce some of the noises. But even from outside, once you play the sound system, it can easily just kill the external noises. Guys, we are now at 9.9 liters per 100 kilometers, and that is overall over the 610 kilometers. It's clocking the 610 as I'm speaking now. So yeah, it's quite impressive what this can do, especially with how we've been driving in there. So yeah, you can see we're doing 180. This thing is just revving at 1.8, like 1800 RPM. It doesn't over rev, this engine, man. That's one of the most impressive things about it, because it has torque quite low at 1750 RPM. It can reach max torque 600 Newton meters. Impressive, man. and that is the piano sound system. You can hear it doesn't panic even when you take it up. One of the cleanest as well in the bakkie segment, I have to say. It's not the best because the subwoofer weight is, it's obviously by the straight hole there at the back, the straight wall rather, there at the back. Whereas when something has a boot, it's like, it's having like the bump where the bass can be a little bit like, what do we call this thing? It can be contained in there and it comes out quite strongly than when it's just in a straight wall like that. But otherwise, a clean sound system in the bakkie segment, I don't think there's anything better that I've experienced. And from my side, unless if it's aftermarket. So yeah, that's just about it. We're 12 kilometers away from getting on the N1, and then it's going to be it. I know it's sad, but at some point we're gonna have to finish this trip, of course. So yeah, let's push through. So that's it. Back to the N1 now. Gonna be left with carousel and Pumlani when you get in here, which is like, what is it, probably 90 bucks. So I don't know how much you would have saved after all the trouble of going to the R101 if it's about saving. But we are back on the N1 now, and yeah, piling through to Pretoria. I'll give you the final numbers when we get there in terms of how did we average. We would have done probably just over 700 kilometers. That's what we would have done, and so far we are averaging 9.9 after 627. But now we're just gonna have a free flow, so I'm not worried that we're gonna be consuming a lot of fuel. It says it can still do 195 kilometers, So yeah, we'll see about that. Let's go. So we are almost at Petroport now, which means our journey is coming to an end pretty soon. But on the highway like this, what I like is, because this thing has adaptive cruise control with lane centering, just put it on, man, and just let it drive. Because when you're feeling tired like this, yeah, especially when it's not a lot of curves and roads that are not clearly visible when it comes to lanes and so on, you can just put it on. I think let's cruise it now. Just that when you have obstacles like this, sometimes I get a little bit scared, because what if it assumes that this thing is on your lane, then suddenly it hits the brakes? I don't know. I've never experienced that, but it's something that I keep thinking about. So I'll put it on 120. It's not going to increase the speed now, because obviously the Polo that is in front of us is driving 100, I think, but it's steering now. You can see that it's actually steering on its own. Doesn't really have, I think I did it back there, but I turned it off. I thought maybe I was turning it on. I don't remember very well. It was a curvy road where I wanted to see if it can respond like this in a curve, because Mahindra ones impressed me. I just turned it on in a curve, and immediately when I left the steering wheel, it got in. I test these things sometimes so that I'm sure. It's not always that you should do it, except if you're trusting the system. And one thing, when you have this thing on, you leave the steering wheel and you touch the steering wheel without turning it a little bit, it feels like the hands are still off the steering wheel. I don't know how these sensors are working though, but once you just turn it on like this a bit, then it recognizes that you are back on the steering wheel. But if you just leave it like now we're curving, it's already doing its thing. It's curving as well, which is quite good, but it's gonna complain soon that I need to put my hands back on. This Polo is driving 91. You see, it's already complaining that I need to do that. But once I start shifting to the lane, it's increasing the speed. Not as quickly as I would have liked it to, but at least it's quite responsive when it comes to that as well. Okay, let's see. Don't get in front of me, Nissan. What? Okay, they're braking and they're braking hard. I'm not gonna brake now. It has to do this thing on its own. Guys, the things we do for you sometimes. Hey, it has to do this. It has to figure it out, I'm sure. Because I think with Ford, if I remember very well, it's like the cherry ones where it can go all the way to 0. I don't remember if Haval can do that as well. I think so, because others, I think it was the old Fords. I'm not sure if this one is the same. It was only taking the speed down to 20 kilometers per hour, not up. I'm still not driving now. It's actually driving itself now. At least you know that this stuff works. Centering, you can see that it's actually centering. You can avoid obstacles on the side, can keep to lane this side, so it's all right. It's all right. It's quite confident as well. Just that it's recognizing very quickly that you need to put your hands back on. But yeah, that's just one thing that you need to be aware of. I'm almost home, guys. 662 kilometers now. Still at 9.9, like I said to you. Diesel, you beauty. Your beauty. I'm not gonna brake for you, man. You have to figure it out. So you can obviously increase how sensitive this stuff is. 2 car lengths, 1 car length. Then it's gonna accelerate a bit. When it gets to 1 car length, it's gonna start reducing again. Is this 1 car length? Can't believe it, man. But I think it starts at 4. You see, 4. It's already going to be braking a lot because it's saying, hey, more space, more space. But I'm comfortable with 2 car lengths, so I just put it there and leave it there. It's a lot of cars, man, on the road. This stuff is cool, man, when you're tired. Yo, it helps a lot. Helps a lot. And that is the Petroport Bridge. Those who are from Limpopo, they know very well that this represents coming into Pretoria or leaving Pretoria. That's what it represents, this bridge. You start feeling like you are back in Pretoria after this bridge. I think from here, Pretoria is like what? 10 kilometers or so. We are at 670 kilometers with a range of 151. Yeah. We're at Petroport now. And guys, I don't know if this is where we're cutting. I think this is where we're cutting it. Guys, look, it has been fantastic. We had a great trip. We enjoyed this vehicle. And yeah, I'm a little bit thirsty now even because I've been talking for some time. Can you believe it? We didn't really stop until here since we left home, which is not advisable for you. But the things we do to make sure that you get all this content is that sometimes. So yeah, this is Petroport. A lot of you should know this place because it's just outside Pretoria. You know what? I'll give you my final goodbyes when we get to Pretoria, actually. Now I'm thirsty. Can't even say goodbye properly. Let me find a parking spot. Yo guys, I thought let me narrate this last part for you because you can see on the video I was finished. I mean, this trip took so long because we're shooting along the way and finding ways to actually bring the content to you and so on, but it was all worth it. I mean, the test that we've done, initially I thought it was going to do like 650 kilometers, but I realized that it can do more than 700. And because I drove it even before I left Pretoria, it was probably sitting at around probably close to 50 kilometers that we've done, and overall we've done over 700. So I think it can fetch 800 depending on how you're driving it. If you're just keeping it probably at around 120, it can do more than 800, I think. But for a bakkie like this with a V6 3 liter, I can't complain because I think in normal sense, when you're looking at it, you'd think that the 2 liter is going to do a better job compared to this on fuel, but I don't think that's the case because I've averaged more than this on the 2 liters, because I think the assumption in this case that I have is that the 2 liter moving a 2.5 ton truck like this one, it's definitely not going to be the same with a 3 liter. Yes, in town when you're moving like from traffic light to traffic light, you can experience instances where it's actually shooting quite high, but it can never get close to the Raptor. In fact, you can't compare the diesel with the petrol when it comes to these things, especially when it comes to long distance. You can go check out the Raptor video, you'll see we were averaging I think around 13 or more when we had that long video that we've done, and it was mostly open road on that one. We even had to refill because we started at lower obviously fuel that we had in the tank. But overall, I think if I had to think about someone who's doing long distances, I'm not sure if the Raptor is going to be worth it because yes, you will get those bubbly sounds from the V6 petrol and everything else, but beyond that, you lose that interest overall because the degree of marginal utility kicks in on the road and it's just going to be quiet. You can't be you can't be making noise all the time. I said this even when I was reviewing the Raptor, that on the highways I don't think this is one that you need, but for doing hardcore stuff, going off-road and everything else, that is perfect. But if you just want something so comfortable on the road, sophisticated, that can do a lot more kilometers than the Raptor, I think this is definitely worth every penny. And even if I'm looking at the Wildtrak V6, if you want or you have that extra 60 something thousand, 63,000 or so, I don't see why you shouldn't add it because this, everything about this feels premium. I was scared that they are pushing it too hard because now making it a premium bakkie, I was thinking, why are you doing that? Because you already have the Wildtrak. But I think I understand. It does actually feel much more plush on the road, well insulated, and from my side, I think it's probably one of the best bakkies that I've ever driven. Yeah, with that said, guys, this is probably the last video before the Christmas, and I just want to wish you and your family a merry or happy Christmas. Please enjoy, don't drink and drive, don't get overexcited. We still have January still coming again this Christmas, and if you want to see more Christmases to come, please just stay safe on the roads, even with your families as well. Do have a wonderful festive season. Till the next one, thank you so much for being here with me today. It was a long one. I appreciate you, and I am out.